It is my pleasure to bring to the stage somebody that's been with us for a long, long time, who is more than just a leader, just a great person, but on top of that, a great trainer, a great leader. Four-star diamond from Denver, Colorado. Please welcome to the stage, Miss Julie Murr.
What tune do I get? I was so curious. I want to pick it out. Woo! I was wondering what song they were going to give me. When they pulled out that Brinks truck, did all you guys want to jump in it? I thought they were going to throw the money all over the room. I was going to go backstage. I thought, no, but maybe I better stand here and catch some. Well, today, this is a perfect timing for this because two products were introduced this morning. And a lot of you are sitting here going, okay, so how do we take action? How do we create more consumers? What do we do with these new products so that we can double, triple our income immediately? So we have this amazing panel of people today. They're going to help you with that game plan. And the other piece I want you guys to understand, to just be grateful for, is the product extension that we have in this company. And what I mean by that, there's so many different companies out there. Everybody's enticed by a juice here or a powder there or some new weight plan company or whatever, all this stuff going on. But we're so fortunate because it's timed perfectly. Every now and then they come out with a new product. Every time we add a new product, not only do we have a new product to consume, but everybody makes more money because we add that product to the consumer base. So be grateful for the product extension that's part of this company. And what I'd love to do now is we're gonna talk about creating new product consumers and how to better focus on generating new customers. So we're going to bring up this amazing panel, so get out your notepads. If you haven't taken a note yet, now's the time. And all of these guys have great pearls of wisdom to share with you. They were chosen for a reason. They all have experience. They've created consumers. They've created huge companies businesses around the world. And what I'd love to do now is call them all up to the stage, starting with Raymond Tay, Bobby Mitchell, Philip Townsend, Ann Feinstein, Billy Looper, and Tim Berry. Come on, you guys.
Hold on tight to your dream.
Did you see that? They just introduced this new product that's for energy, and these guys just moseyed up on stage. That was pretty funny. Give these guys a pack of Volt. I loved Joel's, all the explanations of the product this morning when he said the best version of you. So I haven't actually tried this product yet. I'm going to try it after this panel because I was worried that if I took it now, I might have an out-of-body experience or something, so I'm going to take it later. So starting with, we're going to take about 30 minutes today and talk to these guys about how to create new consumers. And I'd love to start with Bobby Mitchell. Some people are super salespeople, but most are not. So why is it so important for all of us to be our best customer and consume these products?
Well, it's being in Agile for the last 6 years. It's been I think the most important foundation for this product line. I think you've got a lot of information today with our new product, but for me, it's like a stair step. The first most important thing is really understanding what we have as a product, the technology that you've heard this morning as far as how separate we are, how different we are, and how we have something so unique that the world does not have. And really understanding the technology, number one, the technology that we have. And then second, because of that technology, that's kind of like the foundation of what this company is based on. With that foundation, you can stand on that and now have belief. You have belief because it's based on facts. Our product is documented to be the most efficient way to take nutrition into the body. So we've got that fact. Now you have belief on that, so you can trust that. And once you trust that, now you can start using the product and create your own story. And once you create your own story, it's like anything you've done in your life. You get excited about a good movie. You get excited about a favorite car, a favorite restaurant, because you've experienced it. And I think the most important is being sold out yourself on the product line, trusting what we have as factual aspect of our company, building on that trust and having that belief, and then using that belief and then start using the product yourself. And once you use the product, you've experienced it. No one can ever, you're rock solid. There's no one can knock you down because you've got that experience. And I think that is probably the most important thing as far as a foundation to start building a huge customer base, because as Randy Gage says over and over, the first circle, you got to make sure you're sold out. Once you're sold out, everything falls into place.
So Ann, on that note, you and I were talking the other day, and you're so full of funny stories. I wish we had a few hours to sit and listen to your funny stories. But what is your daily method of operation with regards to being prepared for daily exposures to the products and being prepared for group meetings and just being prepared to do business? What is it you do?
First of all, there are a couple things, and I agree with what Bobby was saying. You've got to have passion. Okay, your passion has to be so strong. You have to have your personal story. And I'm telling every one of you that the #1 thing you've got to walk out of here with is, if you don't have a story yet, you've got to consume enough of these products in order for you to go out with a story. Now let me explain what I mean. I have a big basket of products in our kitchen. How many of you have a big basket, visible products in your kitchen? Okay, how many of you are going to do that when you get home? Okay, because that visually reminds you all throughout the day about these products. And so David and I are gripping, ripping, and sipping all day long. So you can imagine, and now with Volt, okay, how much energy, clarity, focus that we have. So as you get on the telephone with people, what's going to happen? You're excited about the products. And when you're setting up meetings or events, cash flow classes, all I can say is that you've got to have products with you. You've got to have products with you. And I will give you 2 examples. One, you're going to have product samples there, right? People are going to have samples, so you can give samples out at your cash flow classes, and also at your Agile business briefings. You've got to go prepared. And we're going to talk about a new tool that is going to be available to you very soon to add to your preparedness in terms of how to go out there and become more consumer-oriented. Second, how many of you take boxes of products with you to events? Boxes of products. I'm giving you permission from today on, you can sell products at cash flow classes. You can sell products to people who are not interested in the business. And they say, guess what? You know, I'm not interested in the business right now, but those products sound fabulous. Now, if you're all buzzed up and excited and passionate, what's going to happen? You're going to talk about the products that you're excited about, right? Now, what happens if you say, well, gee, you know, you hand them a menu, but you don't have the food with you? Okay, that's a big difference. Why just give that guy a sample and never see him again? Give him a 30-day supply and watch what happens. Okay, you're going to turn somebody into a raving lunatic for these products. How many of you would like a whole group of raving lunatic consumers in your business? Okay, the only way that's going to happen is if you have products available. Okay, so that's the second thing I suggest.
Okay, great information. So Philip Townsend, on that same note, you've had a lot of great success with consumers and building a consumer base and just moving product. People get involved in the business, moving product, and being happy in their first month because they're having success pretty quickly. So if you could explain that to us a little bit.
Okay. One of the things that we did years prior before I came to Agile. My wife and I chose Agile because we know it's a perfect company at the perfect time. But I've been involved in network marketing for 19 years. And one of the things that we did extremely well in the other companies was we effectively used the in-home meeting, which is what I call a cash flow class, as an incredible way to find customers, an absolute gold mine on how to find customers. Now, there's a difference between talking to a stranger, retailing a product, talking up to someone, getting their interest, and selling it to someone that you don't know. That's different than people that come into your living room. Remember, people that show up to an in-home meeting are already friends of the person that invited them. So what we do is a real simple process. We use that cash flow class as a place to sell a tremendous amount of inventory, especially for those executives that get involved their first week. We help them sell a lot of their products to the people that may not want to get started with the business. Now, here's what we do. It's all in the sort. It's all in how you close a meeting. And I think we all close a meeting very similar, so if I say something your group doesn't say exactly, we're all pretty much on the same page. So the person that's closing the meeting, maybe it's the upline leader or whoever it is that's there, they're closing the cash flow class, and they've got to sort the group. What they're going to use is called the huge favor approach. This is what we do. The huge favor. Here's why. People don't necessarily want to buy something, but they always want to help a friend. See, people love doing favors. People love helping. People love supporting, but the word buy and sell may slow them down a little bit, especially if right before they go to the in-home meeting, the spouse says, okay, you're going, just don't buy anything. So they're kind of showing up with the, hey, what is this attitude? So here's what we do. We know that they're emotionally attached to the host. So here's what happens. Let's say Bob's having a cash flow class, and I'm closing his meeting. I'm gonna say, folks, there's 3 different types of people in the room. Person number 1, you're ready to get started, lock in that top spot, and we wanna help you get promoted right away. Person number 2, you're very interested in the business, but you've got some questions. We wanna give you some information that you can go home and look at, and we want you to sample the products so you can start moving forward at your own speed. Person number 3, we understand that right now the business isn't for you, but we would love for you to do Bob a huge favor. If you could support Bob and be one of his customers, number 1, you could experience these incredible products, but you'd also be really helping out Bob. So what we have is called a preferred customer form. See, we have a sheet that we use that outlines every product, the price, and what it is. So after the cash flow class, we have an application to get started in the business, but we also have an application to become a customer. So as I'm closing the meeting, I'm going to say this again. Guys, if you're here and you're going to be a person in category number 3, could you do Bob a huge favor and be his customer? Could you support his business and just benefit from these incredible products? We've got a form here that you can take a look at what products may be right for you. We greatly appreciate you coming down, and Bob could really use your support. So now the meeting is over. The group's separated, people are filling out their applications, people are sampling products, and I'm walking up to someone who's in category number 3. Maybe they're in the back eating the veggie tray, drinking a little water, and I walk up to that person and I say, hey, Joe, I know Bob invited you down to the meeting and we're glad you're here. Let me ask you a question. What category do you fall into? He says, you know, Philip, I'm a number 3. So here's what we say. What product interests you the most? See, as soon as they tell me that they're a number 3, they're going home with something. Whether it's 1 box, 2 boxes, 3 boxes, I'm simply going to say, great. What product interests you the most? And this is what I learned years ago. Facts tell, stories sell. See, we've got the facts that our products are better. We've got the proof for the Mayo Clinic. We've got all the medical proof that you need, but people are more interested in the social proof, that how did it work for others, than they are the actual facts in many instances. So here's what I recommend this weekend. Walk around to everyone and say, who are you? Where are you from? What's your best product story? See, if you're like me, I don't take every single product every day. I've got my favorites. I've tried them all. I've used them all. But I've got my core products that I just love, and you never get them from me. So what you want to do is you want to walk around this weekend and find a passionate story about every single product. Hey, who are you? Where are you from? What's your story? And so you're creating a commercial for every single product. So when you walk up to that number 3 after the meeting, you say, hey, Joe, what category are you in? He goes, I'm a number 3. You go, great. What product interests you the most? And he tells you the product. You're going to tell him a story about how the product worked for someone that you know. because people want to know, how did it work for other people? And when we learned how to do that, what's happening is executives are having in-home meetings, and they are selling 2, 3, 4, 5 boxes of products at their in-home meetings if you're aggressively turning the nose into a product consumer. What we also found out is many weeks and many months later, they're coming back saying, hey, we're interested now. We love the product line. Things have changed in my life. Can I join your business? But it's up to us to make sure that they're going home with the products and we know the proper process in order to move this inventory. After all, these bonus checks are fantastic, but they don't come from anything more than us selling these incredible products.
Thanks, Philip. Good stuff. So Tim, I have a question for you. Let's say you're at a party or some kind of networking event. What do you say to people, or how do you bring up the topic of the product? I mean, or the opportunity. What is it that you say to people and to discuss the benefits?
Well, it's tricky. Depends on what the conversation, what's
Since you're
going on
such
with
a
the
party
conversation.
goer.
Yeah. You know, what's interesting, and in my experience, even just going out to lunch with people in the room, we see all types of approaches, and a lot of people do things backwards. They'll come in here, they'll see the new product launch, they'll take a bunch of notes, and they'll walk out like scientists trying to, you know, spit out the same information that Joel Rockwood just said on stage. And it's not intriguing to a prospect, it's not interesting, and it certainly doesn't make them want more. No one wants to walk around being a scientist except for Joel. But so when I'm having conversations, it's really more about the benefit. When it enters in, and I'm really just listening to people, listening to what they're saying. If it's someone who's really busy, I'm going to talk more about the benefits of the products. And you know, if they're just doing a million things and they can't concentrate, they can't focus, I may say, well, you know, if I could show you a way to get that focus back and take control, would that be a good thing? Would you like it? And talk more benefit-wise, and also pose it as a question. You get them saying yes before you've even asked them to buy the products. And I mean, there's just so many examples I can give you about the wrong conversation. The other thing is, most of your people in your life, they know you as whatever you know, who you are to them and what you do. If you're an attorney, and then one day you're walking around with the book of scientific data and double-blinded, placebo-controlled trials, you know, they're going to start to question, like, what? Weren't you just a lawyer yesterday? And so, what, you know, I think that's the biggest mistake that a lot of people make. They're dealing with the wrong things. Everyday people have everyday problems. Our products address those everyday problems that people have. And so stay on the benefit side, and you're going to interest people. They're going to be asking you for it before you ever tell them a name of a product or anything else. And then once they get at events like this, or you know, once they have time after they're taking the product, they can learn all the details of the science, but really stay on the benefit side.
That's a great point. Yeah, because sometimes if you're talking to somebody and you get into all this scientific knowledge, like you said, you can get in trouble. What if you're talking to a rocket scientist, well, not a rocket scientist, but a nutritional expert or something? You can get into trouble. I mean, you don't want to get into all that claim stuff. So that's a great point. Make note of that.
One more thing on that. You and I had this experience last week. Someone was talking to us about a product they had, and they were talking about, they gave us 2 examples of someone with leukemia who their blood count had completely changed, and after taking this miracle product. And you know, I have no interest walking around with miracle stories like that. I mean, it's one thing for us to hear. It gives us reinforcement. I love taking our products because of the benefits I hear from everyone in the room, but we don't want to walk around selling miracle cures. These products do great things. You could get in that trap, but again, that's not the angle that we need to approach. I think just having that posture that, wow, we've got the best energy product in the world, that's cool. You can do a lot of business with that. You don't need to go in those other areas.
Very important stuff. Billy, so I know you actually did a training recently, even on our team training site. It was awesome, about creating new preferred customers. It was amazing if you guys haven't seen it. What are some of your top ways to generate and get new customers?
Well, this is actually for me, and I think for the rest of you guys, if you really get the concept of how simple this is the easiest, most simple thing part of our business, because there's only really 3 words that you need to understand to get new consumers and new customers, and that is, how are you? How are you? Because how many people have met people before or been on the phone with somebody and you ask them, how are you? And then for the next 10 or 15 minutes, they go on to all their aches and pains, all their problems, everything, all the issues that are happening between either them or their close friends or their family. Well, that, if you really listen to what they're saying, this is going to open up an opportunity every single time you ask someone, how are you? Because they're going to talk about their joints or their tennis elbow or their lack of energy, or I just had 4 Red Bulls at a Starbucks and I'm still dragging, or they're going to talk about their family with heart issues. All these things are really complaints that can benefit you if you approach them with the right product. Your only thing you're there to do is connect them with the solution to their problems that they're, of their aches and pains or whatever. So open up your ears, listen really carefully, and you're going to build a preferred consumer base very, very quickly. It's the easiest part of our business. And if you do more and more business presentations, like Philip was talking about and everybody's been referring to, if they don't want the business, they all have something we can solve, problems that we can help solve with these products. The amazing part about our suspension gel technology, our marketing niche, if you're in the business of marketing, is the delivery system, how effective it is, how quickly some of these things work, the stories that we can tell. You got to create your own story, but you also have to listen to how you can solve other people's story as well.
Great, thanks. Raymond, since you're holding the microphone, what do you do as a leader for your team? I know that over in Malaysia, you're doing a lot of great things. You have a big consumer base to widen, increase, and expand your product culture and loyalty within your group.
Okay, so I think I represent people in the Southeast Asia regions because we do things a little bit differently than in the West. So this is for those who already have organizations. So what do you do, to further expand your customer base? So you want to look in your organizations and see who are consumers and who are the builders. Because a lot of time we tend to treat everybody as a leaders, and you start to push everybody to build the organization. But in fact, I think this group of people, they are very important. They are consumer, they are very happy with the product, and they just want to make a couple of $100. So what we do in Southeast Asia, in Southeast Asia, we like to meet people face to face rather than on the internet or so on and so forth on the phone. So as a leader, what we do, testimonies are very important. So as in our country, the internet penetration is not as high as in the West. So we do a lot of print materials. So we print those testimonies in the materials. And at the same time, we also very focused on few core products that we believe that will generate testimonies immediately. So in our market, we take these 2 products, Umi and Green. Okay, so we produce a lot of materials in print and also collect a lot of testimony. So in that way, if you have the consumer base, so you can help them so that they can expand, their consumer base. So if they're going to make a few $100s by serving 10, 20, 30 families, they will make very attractive commissions, with a preferred consumer. When we came out, we are very happy because a lot of times when we go out and retail the products in our market, naturally your friend going to ask for discount. You see, so if they ask for discount, you don't make money, you don't push the product that much. So with this preferred consumer program, I think we are all very happy. So they go out and just tell their friends, they say, all I care about is your health, and I just want you to enjoy the product at the same price as I get it. So they're very happy because at the back end, the company will pay $15 per box. So in our country, that will translate into equivalent of 50 ringgit, which is a large amount of money. So if you can teach them to serve 10, 20, 30 family. So starting from 1 box, they will increase to 2 box, 3 box per family. I think they could make $1,000 US, and they're very happy. So you can help them by giving them tools, print materials, you can testimony in tapes, and so on and so forth. And on top of that, we also do a health talk by our doctors. Because in our country, they do believe in doctors. So we organize a health talk every month, once a month. So we get people to invite the consumers, their friends, and through the product, some of them will become leaders. Thank you.
Thank you. So Anne, we just came out with these two amazing new products, and you have a huge team all over the world, and you also have new customers that you can contact about this product. What is it that you're going to do organizationally, like strategy-wise, as a game plan with your existing team, and then also with new consumers to get the word out about this product?
I think it's in two different parts. One part is your organization. If you have a team, I'm going to make sure that all of my personally sponsored people know about these new products. I mean, that's just something I'm going to make sure. And everyone in our organization, we do an email. We do a lot of communication. Okay, so we get emails out. We have a weekly blast. We're going to make sure that the information is sent out on the weekly blast. We do other types of communications with our teams in terms of webinars for the long distance situations that are going on. But then, going back to the customer side of it, I have to tell you that every person in this room has people that you buy services from. Okay, how many of you get your hair cut? All right, how many of you get your nails done? Great. How many of you you'll listen to my story, okay? My list is haircut, nails done, I have a dentist, I have a periodontist, I have people that I just recently bought a new puppy, okay? I have people that I have the puppy groomed by. So I made a list of every person that I buy services from. And the list was long. And I just started to meet with them as I'm going about and getting the different services that I'm getting. I'm getting my hair cut, okay? Like Billy says, so how you doing? Now, after hunching over 10 people that day, how do you think she's doing? Her back hurts, her joints hurt, okay? So it was so easy. Flip it on, immediately, that was a Flex and an Umi. Guys, that was that simple. Flex and Umi right there, okay? As you heard before, we're talking about joints, muscles, and anti-inflammatory. Now, we can add in the omega-3. Now, while I'm talking to the receptionist of my periodontist, who I've spent a freaking fortune with, okay, over this past couple of years, I mean, they owe me, right? So I sat there and I'm talking with them, and the woman that runs the front desk, okay, is an old friend. I grew up with her. She buys 2 boxes immediately because she's got certain issues. We get to talking. The periodontist walks out. He hears about this. He asks for a product, and he says to me, the last thing he says to me, and David will agree to this, if you ever come out with an omega-3 product, I want to be your first customer. So who do you think I'm calling, okay, on Tuesday after the holiday? He's already on the list. So I've accumulated this list. Okay, all those people that have bought products as preferred customers, they may never join the business, but you know what? I just spoke to the breeder earlier today. She was raving about the Flex. She's raving about the Umi. Her knees feel better. She's hunched over taking care of things all day long in her business. Guys, there's money flowing, okay, all through the world, okay, with these amazing products. And now we can further educate all of these consumers. You're going to hear later about this other new tool that's coming out. You'll hear about this later this afternoon. I'm not going to blow it, okay, for the announcement, but I can tell you that if you don't load your suitcases with this new catalog, okay, in 5 different languages, you're nuts. Okay, because every person that you talk to that's not interested in the business, you open this up and you show them the power of agile and gel suspension technology, and then you just fill out the form just like Philip said. Here's the form, here's the checklist, okay, let's write it up.
Great, thanks. Yeah, if you guys haven't been to the store yet, you'll have to check these out, but like she said, they're going to talk about it later. So for people that have said no in the past too, consumers, or even just people that you've approached in the past, Bobby, Tim, whoever wants to answer this, people that have said no about the products, maybe, you know, how do you reapproach them? Or people that you do have as consumers, the whole upsell concept, what do you do with that?
Well, this goes back to the benefit of product line extension. We can go back to people who said no for other products. And I mean, I don't know many people in my life who haven't heard of the benefits of omega-3. And I certainly don't know anyone who hasn't heard of energy and doesn't need more energy. And so you look at everyone as they're brand new right now. So it's easy. Right now, we got to go back to every single person. No matter what, whether they know about Agile or not, we can't miss anyone and let them know about these products. I truly believe these are the best products in those categories you can get, and so it's time to reapproach everyone.
Great.
Real quick, you know, I think I take it as a responsibility. You know, we're so honored to have such a great product line, and every time, you know, being with this company for the last few years, every time we get a new product line has been mentioned and echoed here. You know, we open up a whole new multi-million-dollar category, and with Omega, and I mean, just the energy, the Volt product, I mean, there is nobody out there that doesn't want more energy. I mean, how many millions and millions of people rely on caffeine every single day to just get through the day? So what happens now is when people that say no, just remember, no matter what, eventually everybody's gonna come around. Maybe not today, maybe not next month, but eventually everybody has a cell phone now. Everybody pretty much has a computer now. Everyone has a refrigerator now. I mean, there was days, as Mr. Craig Bradley said, when we thought the earth was flat. So eventually everybody's going to use suspension gel technology. So remember, don't get discouraged. Mr. Otta said 400 no's. Don't get discouraged. Just remember, no is not yet. And as we keep coming out with more products, more tools, more leaders, more stories, you're going to get more success as long as you keep believing that and knowing that we've got the best thing in the world. So that's probably the best thing I could share.
Great, thanks. Okay, so Billy, you had mentioned there were like five top things that you do with in order to generate new customers. What are those 5 top things?
Well, I think everybody on the panel has already mentioned those, so this will be more like a summary. You have to absolutely create your own story. You can't be out here representing these products in this company if you don't have your own product story. But with the new products that came out today, the Volt, you can have a product story in 10 minutes. Sam and I were talking back about an idea. We're in the President's room, President's Club room, and it was been an idea of mine in the back of my head. By the time that Volt kicked in, it was like a business plan was coming out of my mouth. So the increased productivity for yourself and your team members, I'm going to advise everyone to not even do a presentation until they've taken their Volt 15 minutes prior. But definitely do that. Tell everyone in the world about your story. Have more presentations so that you talk about the business, but then the people who are not interested in business will become a consumer. And then also have samples with you all the time like you were talking about. Be prepared with samples to give out because again, with the new Volt, I'm so excited about, because if you get people hooked on that, you're going to be like the drug dealer of choice. Finally, a healthy energy choice. Finally, a healthy energy choice. And that would be the summary that I would use for everybody for this new product. Here, try this. It's finally a healthy energy choice.
Philip? So basically, because we need to wind it up, just everybody add a few little ditties or tips that you have of what you're going to do to take action today and tomorrow to go out there and create more volume and consumers in your business. What is it that you're going to do today as soon as you leave the room?
I think for people in the room, they've got whether 2 or 3 reps or 20 or 30 or 200, it doesn't matter. It's shifting the attitude from I'm not in sales to the responsibility of being in marketing. Last time I checked, it was called network marketing. And we have this fear sometimes of, oh, I don't want to push anyone, I'm not in sales. And what I found is that if we bring the attitude to the trainings, we bring the attitude of being able to ask them to be a customer, being able to ask them to support our business, and celebrating successes on conference calls, celebrating successes to the team, people start to get excited about asking people to buy the product and getting the fear out of our new reps' hands of asking for the money. As I know what all new reps do is we're fearful of asking for the money, and as the upline leaders, which is everyone that's here today, we need to teach this. We need to do it with our reps and for our reps so it continues on. And once they learn how to do it, it will duplicate through our entire organization, where selling products is not only what we do, but it's a natural process of how we build the business.
Thanks. Okay, everybody, like 30 seconds on what you're going to do.
Oh, I'm just going to start opening my mouth more, okay? I think that sometimes we tend to go places and we don't speak about it. And I just want to tell one quick, fast story, and that is David and I asked David to come with me. Okay, ladies, listen to this. We went to a lingerie shop, okay? And I asked my wonderful husband to go with me. And he went with me, and I walked into this shop, and I have to tell you that I was blown away because this woman knew more about bras than I've ever experienced in my entire life. Now, I'm telling you this story because it reinforced in me the level of passion that we have to have and the amount of excitement. I mean, she was so excited about bras. And I walked out of there, you know, thinking, if I ever think about, you know, lingerie, this is the person I'm going to. So what I'm saying to myself is, people need to feel us, all of us. We are the people with the energy. We're the people with the passion. We're the people with incredible gel suspension technology. We're the people with the most state-of-the-art skincare products in the universe. They've got to see us, feel it, look it. We've got to become a product of the products. We're all oil paintings in process. Okay, agreed. But we've got to start mixing up the oil and start making the process. So that's my idea.
Thanks. Tim?
Nothing else to add.
Bobby?
Nothing else to add.
Okay. Raymond?
Okay.
Then I have something to say.
I think taking the product as part of our lifestyle, all right? So feel comfortable taking the product everywhere, anywhere you go. And don't forget to bring a few sachets with you. You know, you never know who you're going to meet, because you will never meet anyone reject you from offering this sexiest product in the world. Thank you.
Yep. Thanks, you guys. And I think, just to kind of wind it up, the feeling I get from everybody, and especially because that we've extended this product line, is just to let the cat out of the bag. People need to quit taking their products in the privacy of their home in a closet. I mean, everybody needs to get out and use these products in front of people. It's amazing. And I love Craig Bradley's story he used to tell about when he'd be sitting on an airplane and he'd get out the product, he'd rip off the top, and the person next to him would ask, "What is that?" You got to start taking these products in front of people. Take them, you know, when you're having lunch. Take them in front of your friends. Take them in front of your family that still doesn't know what you do. You know, let everybody know how awesome these products are, and it's very simple. It's just by using them in front of people and getting out there and spreading the word. So I want to thank the panel tonight for being here, and great information.